Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play against Terran MECH. So today I actually played a really interesting game. This guy had 5500 MMR. That's about top 100 Grandmasters EU. So he played MECH and I played kind of a different style. And I think this is the best way to play against MECH right now. But going into the replay, the build order early game is always the same. But mid game we're going to change it up a little bit. And the late game we're also going to have a different army composition. So I go for a 14 pylon, 16 gate, then I scout and go for a 16 gas and 19 nexus. And I cut probes at 19 and build a 19 cybercore so I can get a adept out quickly enough to defend the reapers. After that, I want to be going for another adept and then a Stargate. So we're gonna have adept, Stargate, and then one more adept. That's the easy way to remember it. And of course, we're gonna have non-stop probe production. When we scout, we of course want to see one gas, barrack expansion. That's usually a reaper expansion. And other than that, we want to make sure that he doesn't go for a really quick third base. So we're going to have this adept scout his main base while we build probes. And of course, we're going to be chrono boosting the adepts so we can make sure that he's going to be that we can defend the reaper. Later in, we're going to be building pheonixes as soon as possible, and then we're going to take a third base at 46 supply. The exact build order is in the YouTube description below. You're welcome to copy paste it if you want. I have been writing it down exactly how it should be. And of course, we are gonna be a bit greedy over here, but the main goal with this is to have 3 adepts to scout if he's going for cyclones or not. And of course, if he doesn't have cyclones, we're just going to send the adepts over here to see if he's going for bio. But he did go for 2 cyclones, and if you see 2 cyclones, it's most often MECH. So what do you want to be doing versus MECH? You want to be going for 6 phoenixes, so you can get a lot of harass going and defend his medevac, liberators, and cyclones. 6 phoenixes. They're going to be defending all harass. So behind that, we will of course want to take the third base at 46 supply, and then we want to be going for charge and +1 attack. We want to stay active with the phoenixes, so we're gonna have these harass, and when you harass, you want to try to harass this gas. Usually you want to harass the gas SCVs because there's always a turret in the middle of the mineral line, so it's way easier to harass the phoenixes, the SCVs by the gas. When I know it's MECH, I like to go for double robo immortal production. My main army compositions should be charge zealots with immortals, and the immortals are the key units, so you don't want to be losing them and you don't want to be scouting or having them somewhere else. They need to stay in the safest location. And of course the phoenixes has to harass. He did a really good trick where he sent the cyclones from this area instead of the middle, so I missed them. I couldn't see them. I was kind of waiting for them in the middle, but they didn't work. Anyways, how do we want to play against MECH with the economy? I want to take a third base and then a fourth base before my gases. Versus MECH, you don't want to be too gas heavy. You of course want your main base, natural gases. But you also want the fourth base really quick. So instead of taking these 2 gases and building six probes, that is a total of 450 minerals if you count the gases and 6 probes. That is a bit more than a nexus. So instead of taking these gases, you're just going to take a fourth base, and of course that's going to give you an economy lead, because we know that MECH players doesn't push that often. If they do, you can usually lift up the reinforcement with the phoenixes and then try to warp in at home until you have enough to engage. Try to stay active with the phoenixes, build a lot of immortals, and when I have my third base up and running, 16 probes or 17 probes over here, then we're going to build 10 gateways. And of course, in the late game you probably want 12 or more. So just a quick note, people say Tempest are good versus MECH. I don't like Tempest versus MECH, even though a lot of people say they're good. I just feel like they are too expensive and they are too slow. Tempest are very slow, they have low DPS, they cost a lot, and they require a lot of supply. but they have very long range. And of course, the opponent can't engage you because when they want to engage when they're sieged, and they can't push when they're sieged. So that is why Tempests are also very good. But in my opinion, it's too expensive. Instead of building 2 starports, upgrades, and a fleet beacon, and then begin Tempest production, I feel like it's better just to go mass Immortal Zealots, because they have more DPS and they are faster. Alright, so I'm gonna show you guys how to engage MECH. We want the Immortals to be shooting, taking down the shields as much as possible, and then going back. We lost the nexus, that's totally fine. So here's what you do. You have Zealots to tank, then you have Immortals in the front, because they're gonna be tanking a little bit, and then you attack, lift the tanks with the phoenixes. So that is what you want to be doing. Zealot, Immortal, Immortals in the front, and when you engage, you lift the tanks. Then you reduce the DPS, even though you're going to use the phoenixes. Don't overextend. I do this a lot. I'm like, oh shit, I just killed this entire army, I better engage. But then he just sieges up, have burrow with our mines, and then kills my entire army. Against MECH, don't try to end the game too quickly. You want to have a splitted army. You always want to split your army, because this is not a good engagement. You want to engage a place where he is not sieged. So we are going to have a warp prism going, and then try to make him unsiege. So whatever you do, if you see his army, be like, oh okay, so most of his army is over here, and look at it. Burrow with mines, tanks, turrets, and this should be planetary. That is all like static defense-ish. So what if we were here? Like there's nothing over here. What if I sent like 2 zealots over there from these rocks, and I took these rocks down? He would have he wouldn't have anything. So what you do is you kind of show your army, be like, hey dude, I'm over here. Then I want to warp in zealots and have a few immortals attacking over here. This is gonna make him unsiege and send his units over here. And it's gonna be really difficult for him because he always wanna engage when he's sieged. The mobility of MECH units are very bad. Like they are not fast. They can't really follow up with the movement speed of the zealots with charge. You wanna be splitting army. Never engage in one location. Always try to split your army. Engage 3 different bases at once. And remember to keep your immortal production going. So one different thing I would have done, I would probably have had 4 robotics facilities over here. So once you get into the late game and your economy can support more and more, try to add more robo facilities, because those are really good. Unless you have Liberators, you don't want to go Tempest, because Liberators are very good against, Tempest is really good against Liberators, because Immortals are, of course, they can't shoot air units. As you can see, the only air units, or anti-air unit I have, is the Archon, and that's not going to kill a Liberator. So, when you engage, and he's unsieged, you usually win the fight, because look at this, his Widow Mines are not burrowed, some of his tanks are not burrowed, and look at how quickly the tanks die from the Immortal. These guys had 14 kills together, and it's only 2 adepts, and these guys had like a fuck ton as well. Each one had like 2 or 3, maybe 4 kills. Alright, this is how you engage against MECH. You split your army in 3 groups. You harass each base. If there are siege tanks around the bases, then you just send some immortals with the harass units, because the immortals can take care of the tanks. If they're on the high ground, you make your warp prism take care of that with tanks in the warp prism, and you mass expand while you harass, because MECH units cannot attack you. They are very slow. They are not going to be pushing unless they're going to make like a doom push, and if they do, they're not going to be able to defend that easily. So you're just going to mass expand everywhere. Don't stop. Just one base every 2 minutes. So yeah, no Tempest, 4 robotics facilities, and mass zealots. That is how you win. And remember, this guy had a 5,500 MMR. That is top 100 EU. So he probably knows what he's doing, and this is how you should play against it, because this actually works. Alright guys, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to join the Discord if you want a group to discuss StarCraft. The link is in the description, and remember, the build order is also in the description below on the YouTube video. Give it a like if you like the video. That helps me a lot, so I know what kind of videos you guys prefer. And as always, I will see you guys in 2 days. Thanks for watching, and also remember to subscribe for more content. See you guys later.